Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are diving deep into what is, I think, one of the most powerful and frankly accessible side hustles out there right now, the newsletter. If you have ever wanted to build your own audience, share what you know, and create a real income stream all on your own terms, then this is the playbook you've been waiting for.
And look, it's not just me saying this. When you get a newsletter right, it's so much more than just marketing. It becomes this incredible direct connection with your readers. People actually start looking forward to it hitting their inbox. It becomes a highlight of their week, not just another email they have to delete.
But let's be real for a second. You spend all this time and energy building up a following on social media. But here's the tough question. Do you actually own that audience? One little algorithm change, one random shadow ban, and poof, that connection you worked so hard to build could just vanish.
And this right here is where the newsletter completely changes the game. It's pretty much the only platform where you are in total control. You own your audience. That list of subscribers, that's your asset. It's a direct, unfiltered line to them that no tech giant can ever take away from you.
And the opportunity here is just massive. Think about this number. On the Substack platform alone, there are over 20 million paid subscriptions. That is a gigantic market of people who are actively looking for, and more importantly, willing to pay for great content.
So what does that mean in terms of, actual money? Well, get this. On that same platform, there are 52 newsletters earning over $500,000 a year. This isn't just a fun little hobby. It's a completely legitimate, high-potential business model.
Okay, so where do you even begin? It all starts with the foundation, and that is finding the right niche. Honestly, this is probably the single most important decision you're going to make. It's what's going to determine how fast you grow, how much you can make, and whether you'll even stick with it.
So to build that solid foundation, you can use this super simple three-part framework. Think of it like a Venn diagram. It's the sweet spot where what you're an expert in, or just super passionate about, overlaps with what people actually want to read about, and, crucially, whether that audience is willing to pay. All three have to be there for this to work.
And hey, the numbers don't lie. You can see what's working right now. Niches like finance and AI are just exploding. And the reason is pretty simple. These audiences are not only hungry for information, they're already used to paying for high-value insights. It's a natural fit.
So the biggest takeaway here is you have got to be specific. A newsletter on just business advice is way too broad. It's going to get lost in the noise. But one on how to acquire customers for SaaS. Now that is specific, it's valuable, and it attracts exactly the right people. So don't be vague, be the absolute go-to expert for one specific problem.
All right, so once you've nailed down your niche, it's time to build your content engine. This is all about creating the systems that will make that first impression really count and turn those casual visitors into loyal fans.
And the most powerful tool you have for this is called a lead magnet. Think of it as kind of like an ethical bribe. You're offering something so valuable for free, like a checklist or a guide or a template, that people are actually happy to trade their email address for it. This is the bridge that takes someone from just finding you to becoming a real subscriber.
But here's the thing. Not all lead magnets are created equal. Just look at the data. Interactive stuff like a simple ROI calculator can convert way better than a static PDF. You know why? Because it feels personal and it gives people immediate value. Even a short little video often beats a traditional ebook.
So now you've got subscribers coming in and you have to deliver. And here's the secret. Your most important metric isn't your open rate, it's your predictability. Your audience needs to know they can count on you showing up. The best way to do that is to use a content calendar and just plan your topics 4 to 6 weeks in advance. No more scrambling at the last minute.
Okay, your engine is built and running. Now it's time for the growth journey. Getting to that first 1,000 subscribers can feel, well, a little daunting, but it's a totally achievable process if you just break it down into clear, manageable steps.
And this timeline just lays out the path perfectly. See, you don't go from 0 to 1,000 overnight. You start small with your personal network. Then you move on to things like newsletter swaps. That's where you promote another creator, they promote you. After that, you build authority by going on podcasts. Each stage builds on the last, creating the steady, compounding growth.
Now, I really want you to pay attention to this number because it represents the 60% rule. And this is so critical. At least 60% of your growth has to come from outside your existing network. You have to actively go find new audiences through collaborations. You just can't grow by talking to the same people over and over again.
Okay, so you've done the hard work, you've built an engaged audience. Now we get to the really exciting part, turning those readers into revenue. This is where your side hustle starts to feel like a real business.
And you've got a few different ways to go here. This chart kind of ranks them by how easy they are and what the potential is. Affiliate marketing, super easy way to start earning. Sponsorships can be really lucrative once you have that targeted audience. And of course, paid subscriptions give you that predictable recurring revenue. The best part? You don't have to pick just one.
Now, when you're choosing a platform for those paid subscriptions, the fees matter a lot. A platform that takes a 10% cut might seem free at the start, but as you grow, that fee becomes a huge expense. I mean, look at this. At 1,000 paid subscribers, that's $1,000 a month you're just giving away. A platform with a flat monthly fee could save you over $900 of that. The math is just impossible to ignore.
And this just shows you the power of mixing it all together. You don't have to rely on just one thing. By combining some affiliate links, a paid tier for your biggest fans, and maybe one monthly sponsorship, you can build a diversified, resilient business that's bringing in well over $1,500 a month with just 1,000 subscribers. Wow, we have covered a ton of ground, from finding your niche all the way to making money. So now, let's just boil it all down into your final launch playbook. These are the key takeaways you absolutely need to remember.
So here it is, your final checklist. Remember, a specific niche can grow about 27% faster. Use those interactive lead magnets. They can convert up to 70% better. Plan for 60% of your growth to come from outside your own network, and don't try to monetize too early. Wait till you hit about 500 subs. Combine those revenue streams. And finally, just remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. It takes 6 to 12 months of consistent work to hit that first major milestone.
So you have the full playbook. The strategy is all laid out for you. The only question left is the one that really starts everything. What is the one specific problem that you, with your unique knowledge, your unique passion, can solve for an audience? Figure that out, and you're ready to go.